So my very bestest good friend bought his first house and asked me to lend him a helping hand building his privacy fence. Well, seeing as how I did it for a couple summers, I figured why not? I don't have anything going on, and I'm pretty good with my hands. So here's the footage that I collected from the new 450-foot privacy fence that we built at my buddy's new house. Enjoy! Well, with anything, as you can imagine, the foundation is key. And in fence building, your posts are your foundation. So you don't level a post, you plumb a post. And what that means is that all four sides are level. So if you put your level up to each side, the bead will be right in between those two lines. Something else to consider with your posts is the depth in which they are set. So a good rule of thumb is 1 foot below for every 3 feet above. These posts in particular we set at 30 inches, and then we cemented them with concrete. And all we used was Quikrete and instant mix, throw it in a wheelbarrow, add water, and stir with a shovel. You can also add gravel at the base of each post, and that will help with draining. The most important thing to remember though is to remove any contact with the ground that you can. Even if you set your posts deeper than 3 feet, you can still see them rot at the base. The 3 inches below the surface and the 3 inches above are the first place to rot on a post. We got all the concrete tucked away, and first day is down. Day 2 we're going to be putting the runners up, and those are the 2x4s that hold the pickets. I have to pick on him a little bit because he doesn't do this work and he hasn't done much woodworking to begin with. So here's his attempt at a circular saw. It's all in good fun, and I did coach him along the way so he got it right, but we had some laughs.
Get angry at it.
You want to set your posts 8 feet apart to accommodate the 2x4/8s, but sometimes cuts need to be made. All of these 2x4s were set with a hammer and nails. You can use a pneumatic nailer, but we didn't have one at the time. So once those are up, then you're ready to do your pickets. You can see how close we got to the garage there. This gap right here will be a double swing gate. Then you can see down the line. So another thing to remember is this is construction grade lumber. It's not finished grade lumber, so there will be slight imperfections, but we do the best we can. It takes a little bit longer to put all the runners up with a hammer and nails, but it is a more satisfying feeling when you're done. But now that those are all up, it's time to get the pickets. And for the pickets, I do have a pneumatic nailer. I use a roofing nailer and 1 1/4 inch nails. I had my buddy start running out all the pickets so they're ready, and I started doing this side. So if you look closely, you'll see a string line on the top of the pickets. And what you want to do is set your ends. So the closest spot to the edge of the garage, I set the height of the picket and nail it in. And then I do the same at the edge of that opening. And then I'll take nails and put them on the top of each picket and run the string line across. And now here's some actual footage of me doing it, so this will be easier to describe. You take your picket and you press it right up to the string line for your height. And you just nail it in. Every so often you want to check your level too. But you can get going pretty quick, and it's easy to work from right to left. And what I mean by that is with your left hand you want to be grabbing a picket so your right hand can stay free to run the gun. Check your level and just keep moving. Another thing to remember is you do not want your pickets to make ground contact. So you don't want any contact with the ground on the bottom at all. You want to leave a minimum of 2-inch gap at the bottom so that the pickets do not rot. While I've been doing the pickets, he's been busy moving and burning brush. When he bought the house, he had to have a couple trees removed in the backyard, so he just wants to make sure we got a clear line to work. And I appreciate it too, because everything's going good so far. Here's the first line finished up. If you look on the ground, the white line is his property line. We built it about 6 inches off of his line. And it came out really good. You can see a filler picket right there, that skinny one. So for any gaps that you come across along the way, you might have to cut a picket to accommodate. And by the way, this is 2 days worth of work. So the first day we dug and cemented the posts, let them set for a week, just because I didn't have any more time. And I came out the following Saturday and we did the runners and the pickets. It's amazing what you can accomplish when you put your mind to it, and that string line really does help keep the top straight and level. I think it looks really good so far, and I'm excited to keep going. We're going to do his whole yard, so there's lots of work to be done. So day 3 we jumped over to the other side of his property and cemented posts. Today is day 4 and we're doing runners and pickets. The runners are up, again with a nail and hammer, and now we're just going to take a break for lunch before we put up the pickets. When we got back from lunch, we just got right to it. So here's the finished product with the pickets put up. Everything came together really well, and it was a good day to work outside. The top turned out really nice, and the fence is coming along very nicely. I'm excited to see the finished product. So now we're back on day 5, setting more posts. This is the final line, and this was the line I've been dreading. There's a tree we're going to have to work around, as well as removing that existing fence, which is just a combination of chicken wire and T-posts. More stuff to burn, more posts to set, more holes to dig, more cement to mix. But we got it done. And it's a lot of fun doing this work. I enjoy it thoroughly. So it's day 6. Time for more runners and pickets. And as you can see, we've got most of it together already. It's really satisfying doing that last line and tying it all together. It's a really good feeling of accomplishment once you can look at that and see what you've done. I got my buddy behind the nail gun to finish up the pickets too, and I was happy because he didn't really have the confidence at the beginning to do the pickets. But that's okay, everybody has to learn anything at their own pace. So I'm happy that he at least got on there and finished up. It's looking really good. And the first side that we did, the sun's starting to weather it, so it's going to be really beautiful here in a couple weeks once it gets all settled in. This is a quick look at the line that we finished last week. It looks really nice. We'll spin it around and we'll get some footage of him finishing it up. Doing something yourself, it gives you such a satisfied feeling, especially when it's something like a fence that you get to look at and enjoy for years to come. The way that I look at stuff is if I'm going to pay somebody to do it and they're going to come out and do it, there's no reason why I can't learn and do it myself. And that's the way that I've always been. And I've been stubborn and I like to learn the hard way, and it sure does bring with it a bunch of challenges. But doing something on your own and learning it is the best way to live, in my opinion. And nobody was a master starting out. Everybody makes mistakes. So minor mistakes were made here and there, but we got it all done. And it looks really great. I wanted to touch on this little spot for the tree too, because you can just build over the tree, and that's what we did. Both sides look fine. And the way that we accomplished it was by taking the pickets that go right on top of the tree, flipping them over and marking it on the string line and cutting them with a circular saw. I hope you are enjoying watching me build this as much as I enjoyed actually building it. And every week that I come out, I can see my buddy has more stuff built behind it, and that's a good feeling too. It lets me know he's already using the space and it's exactly what he wanted. These two trees are actually fruit trees, peach tree and an apple tree, I believe. Today we're going to focus on building a gate there, this one, a single swing entry gate, and then another one on the other side for that double swing. Both gates came together really nicely, and I even got to repurpose hinge hardware that I got from a demolition job I did a few weeks back. He's happy, I'm happy, the whole thing looks great, and it was great getting out there and working with my hands and doing something for my friend. Thanks for watching.